But back in the day, you were not allowed to connect with anybody that you didn't know, which is hilarious because they gave you the option to tease you that you could select it. So then if you did select it, they would yell at you and say, this is not permitted. But now, networking is the norm. So growing your network and meeting new people via LinkedIn is encouraged as opposed to getting a slap on the wrist. So why use LinkedIn? There's a number of reasons to use LinkedIn, and all will center around gaining as much visibility as possible on the platform. So first, you can find a job on LinkedIn, which is kind of the go-to that people assume you're on LinkedIn for, is to find a job or to hire somebody. To generate leads, so especially if you are in a business in a B2B space, you can really generate leads through LinkedIn. Hiring, developing partnerships with other businesses or professionals. So if you are an influencer or you have your own business, sometimes you can develop partnerships with other businesses. You can also gain notoriety in your industry, both as an influencer on LinkedIn, and then also you can generate media attention through LinkedIn. You can connect with people who might cover you or cover what you're doing. So how can you maximize LinkedIn? So there's 3 key ways to maximize your presence. So first is SEO. So people pay to be able to search on LinkedIn. So if you are a premium member, you might have Sales Navigator. I use Sales Navigator. It is a way to conduct detailed searches on LinkedIn, and you get a whole different value to the searches that you're executing. So for example, you not only have better fields that you can use to get more specific, but when you use Sales Navigator, it will also tell you whether someone has posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days, which is a really awesome thing to know because you've all met those people, you might be those people, who you're like, yeah, I have a profile, but I haven't logged in like 2 years, and do you know how to turn the alerts off? Because I get those alerts and I don't know what to do with them. So you want to avoid reaching out to those people. Content. So you want to generate content, and that isn't just an article. Generating content is also posting in the news feed and generating conversation. And then the algorithm. So there's ways to use and leverage the algorithm, but you also have to post quality content. So all of these 3 things really work in tandem to get the best out of LinkedIn. So visibility is key. So this is really the currency on LinkedIn, and this is what I have labeled myself, which is a LinkedIn visibility expert. I help people, put together posts that are going to get them noticed on LinkedIn and going to get as much visibility as possible. So this is an example of a handful of recruiters on LinkedIn. They're hilarious. Adam Karpiak is hilarious. If you can follow him, do it. He's sarcastic and snarky and just awesome. There's a couple others here. They have in the tens of thousands of followers. And just like Kristen was talking, Kristen falls in this group too, you're not promoting what you're doing. You're promoting who you are and what you are about, and maybe your sense of humor. And through that visibility, you can generate business because people notice you, they notice what you're about, and then they just want to be associated with you, or they go check out what it is that you do. And then that generates leads, or it generates business. So the first things first, even when you're gaining visibility, you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile. Because you get visibility, what's it worth if when they go to your profile there's nothing there, or it isn't effective in communicating what you do and what you're about. So this looks a little bit different because they did recently change the summary to the about section, which is, I think, incredible that one little word completely gives clarity to what you're supposed to put in that section, because the number of times I've been asked, what are you supposed to put in your summary? There's a lot of times I've been asked that question. So now they've actually clarified it's supposed to be about you. But this is a breakdown, and I actually have this free checklist on my website. Goes through all the things that you should be filling out. So your headline is very important. I'll get into that in a little bit. Your summary or your about section, there's a 2,000 character limit. Utilize all 2,000 characters if you can, just because of that search factor. Your headline, your about section, and here your current experience sections are going to carry the most weight in terms of SEO. So you want to fill those sections with the most weighted keywords, but then there's also the inbound marketing factor. So if you go back here in this about section here, the first sentence I wrote is, I found my zone of genius. So I don't know if anyone here has read The Big Leap, but it's a reference to that book. And I've actually had multiple leads and business generated from that line because people said they saw that line and immediately were taken with what I did and wanted to reach out. So the first couple lines of this section and then your current experience sections are really important because they're going to pull people in and make them want to click to read the full section. This is my past experience. So one thing about your past experience, especially if you have changed industries or completely shifted what it is that you're doing, you can actually toggle off whether you are found for your past experience. So if you used to be in marketing and now you are an author, you don't want to be found for marketing anymore. So you can leave it up on your profile so people know what you've done, but you can go to the edit public profile and URL section and you can toggle off past experience so that people aren't going to find you for that. So what's in a headline? So a headline carries so much importance, whether it's with search or it's with inbound marketing. So with search, it carries a lot of weight, so you're going to want to have keywords in your headline. But it also, when you're communicating on LinkedIn, it's like your personal billboard because everybody can always see your headline, especially the first 50 to 70 characters. So you can see in these examples, even when people are commenting on this post, you can see investing my talents and unique experiences to help stakeholders. So I've had clients reach out to me because they saw my headline and commenting on a mutual connections post, and they said, oh, I need that. And so they reached out after seeing my headline. So it's a really good way to promote what you're doing or what you're about. And you want to make sure, that you avoid prepositions, you avoid filler words in the first part of your headline. So you can see the two differences here. So yes, LinkedIn profile optimization and visibility expert is always visible when I'm commenting on LinkedIn. If I were to put, I help professionals optimize their LinkedIn profiles and generate leads, people would just see, I help professionals optimize their. That's not really going to pull you in and make you want to know what it is that I do. So you really want to make sure that you have heavily weighted words within the first part of your headline. And the other thing too, you also have to know your target audience. So there's some people, I know that there's one guy in particular, he has human being as his. People have random, like off the cuff, coy headlines, but for their audience it works. So you also have to think through who you're targeting. But if you're targeting anything from legitimate B2B, most of the time you're going to want to put heavy weighted keywords. So your skills section. So this is going to help you in search as well. So skills, especially if you're looking for a job, recruiters are going to plug in specific keywords into that field to find people that meet those skills. So you obviously want to use skills that you actually have, but you can put these in and they act almost as keywords on a website. So this is an example of job search. So if you were to go to look for a job on LinkedIn, they're going to show you the top 10 skills that they're looking for. And if you go on that job post, it'll show you which ones you are qualified for. So if you see one that, yeah, I can do that, I do that, I have that skill, you can go back in and add the skills they're looking for in order to pop up higher in their search.
Is that only with premium?
No.
That's what everything.
Yeah, this is a page from if you go to the job search. It'll show you, it'll fill in or grade the ones that you actually align with.
Okay.
So LinkedIn SEO best practices. So as I talked about before, your headline and current experience sections are really important for SEO. So the questions to ask yourself for your headline is, what is going to draw in your target audience? And then what is your audience going to search for? So some people are in a particular industry or a particular job that is going to be searched for more than others. So that will make a difference. But you're going to want to ask yourself these questions with your audience in mind. What are they going to be looking for? What is going to attract them to want to talk to me? And then current experience, that headline, which is going to be what keywords will be most valuable in search. So article and article headlines are important for SEO. So if anyone is a writer, if anyone wants to write, putting articles out there is helpful in terms of Google, because Google crawls LinkedIn. So if you go to search yourself on Google, I'll bet you your LinkedIn profile comes up on the first page. So Google does crawl LinkedIn. So if you write articles, that gives you that benefit. And then your skills.